Welcome back to the world of tennis, presented by BNP Paribas.
Well, now let's head to beautiful Newport, Rhode Island, the home of the Tennis Hall of Fame. Ever since 1955, the Hall of Fame has been inducting tennis royalty. Everyone from Bill Tilden, Rod Laver, Margaret Court, Chris Evert, Billie Jean King, I could go on and on. It's the ultimate dream for a tennis player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It shows their relevance and impact in the sport that they love. Now let's take a look at the class of 2010.
On this hallowed ground today, we honor 7 very talented individuals. Their accomplishments both on and off the court are the reason why we are here today to pay tribute to them. It is the highest recognition in the game.
Great doubles players have emerged from down under since the dawn of tennis. This day marked the recognition of some of the best ever, beginning with Mark Woodforde and Todd Woodbridge, the Woodies, who were introduced by coach Ray Ruffles.
They won 5 straight Wimbledons from 93 to 97, 2 US Opens, 2 Australian, and they also won gold at the 96 Olympics. After 1998, they continued and added the French at last and another Wimbledon.
I want to thank the International Tennis Hall of Fame and its members for recognising the Woodies this year.
I really felt that if I could team up with him, we might be able to do well together. We did better than well, we did bloody great. Well done, Mark. It's an honour to be here. Thank you very much.
The next dynamic duo of Gigi Fernandez and Natasha Zvereva won 14 Grand Slams together. They hold the second longest Grand Slam doubles title streak in the Open era, winning 6 in a row from the French Open in 1992 through Wimbledon in 1993.
The Hall of Fame is more complete after this day of recognizing that doubles has always and will always have a relevant and significant place in our sport and in the Hall of Fame.
I never thought that we could achieve something like this. I just basically tried to play tennis the whole of my career. The phrase of opposite attracts is actually a perfect description of our team. And she's a fire and I'm an ice.
Other honorees included Owen Davidson, yet another Aussie doubles player. In this case, a crafty lefty who emerged as arguably the greatest mixed doubles player of all time. And Brad Parks, who launched the National Foundation of Wheelchair Tennis. Today, the NEC Wheelchair Tennis Tour comprises 157 tournaments in 41 countries. And Derek Hardwick, who led the charge to finally make tennis an open sport, overcoming the difficult politics of the 1960s on his way to eventually becoming the chairman of the Men's International Professional Tennis Council and the president of the International Tennis Federation.
Well, congratulations to this year's inductees, very well deserved. However, before we move on, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a new display hanging proudly in the Hall of Fame, the shirt and racket belonging to Nicholas Mahut. Mahut just lost in Wimbledon to John Isner, 70-68 in the 5th set, the longest tennis match ever played by far. It spanned over 3 days and over 11 hours on the court. These two men, John Isner and Nicholas Mahut, will be forever linked as the Iron Men of tennis. Now it's an easy segue talking about health and fitness to hear from our very own Dr. Vijay Vad. We're going to go inside his renowned offices for this week's Tennis Medicine Update.
Tennis Medicine Update is brought to you by the MD System, clinically proven rapid pain relief topical.
I'm Dr. Vijay Vad for Health Tips. Today's topic is ankle sprain, one of the most common injuries in tennis. As a matter of fact, other top pros, Roger Federer, Andy Murray, Andy Roddick have had their issues with ankle sprains. One of the most important things to remember with an ankle sprain is that once you have an ankle sprain, you are at very high risk for recurrent ankle sprains. That's because the balance, proprioception, which is the medical term, is lost when you have an ankle sprain. It is essential with that injury to restore the balance. Of course, the first 48 hours of ankle sprain, you must follow the RICE principle: rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Following this, you must do balance exercises as we're about to demonstrate. One of the best exercises for restoring that balance with an ankle sprain is the standing tree pose. It can be done with your resting foot either at the knee or slightly resting on the ground. If you want to do very advanced level tree pose to maximally restore the balance, then try to close your eyes while you're doing the standing tree pose. This will enable you to restore maximal balance and try to minimize your chance and risk of having a recurrent ankle sprain. Remember to stretch and strengthen to stay fit. I'm Dr. Vijay Vad.
This Tennis Medicine Update was brought to you by the MD System, clinically proven rapid pain relief topical. For more information, visit themdsystem.com or call 1-800-313-5056. Up next, find out who advances to the finals when Billie Jean King gets her own tribute at the BNP Paribas Showdown for the Billie Jean King Cup at Madison Square Garden. All this and more on the World of Tennis, presented by BNP Paribas.